Well, hi there. I wanted to get back on here and show you the nice subscriber that sent all the groceries. Also sent this that was delivered in the mail. They want to remain anonymous, so I can't tell you who sent it. I do know, but I can't tell. So I was going to dig in here and see what's in the box. But I want to thank my subscriber for sending all the groceries and what's in here. Lead candles. There's 2 of them. And it's got a remote. How neat, I've got remote candles. Little remote. And it takes AA batteries, so I'll have to get batteries to put on them to be able to use them. But isn't that neat? 2 lead candles. Thank you. Let's see what, because there's something else in here. See if I can get these back in the box. Trying to close this back up, but it's not cooperating. Here. See what this is. Oh, this is for little buddy. It looks like it's fruit treats. Dried little fruit treats for little buddy. He'll love that. He was in here a little while ago getting him some breakfast. He'll be back. Oh, and there's a letter. Well, let's see what's in the box first. I'm not sure I can even read the letter, so I don't know. Flame aromatherapy machine. Well, I have to be careful using that with whatever I put in there because of my allergies, but I'm sure there's something I'll be able to find. Huh, that's neat. You put water in it, looks like. It's got a little electric cord with it. So evidently you put water in there and whatever aroma you're going to use and plug it in. That's neat, thank you. I'll get it figured out. I'll try to find something I can use that I'm not allergic to. Let's see if I can get this open. I've got a letter opener and I don't know what I did with it. We'll see. Woo. Look, I guess I can read the letter and just not say who it's from. It says, Dear Linda, I wanted to send you something I hope helps with your allergies. If you don't want it or don't think it is something you would use, please use it or give it away. I'm actually sending two I watched your big basil harvest. I use method cleaner basil scent in my home. I think basil smells so nice. The humidifier is so good to use with your sleep, and it is just water, no drugs or chemicals. I think it could help you, but but it's up to you if you want to use it. I'm going to close for now so I can run up to the post office and get this off. And it's friends, you know, you're my subscriber. Can't tell you their name. And it says, well, hello, Linda again, friend. I hope my letter finds you well, and hopefully by the time it arrives, you will have had a good soaking rain. On the 7th, Thursday, late afternoon, we got a crazy storm that lasted almost 30 minutes. We had hail, straight line wind, and I don't know what that is. And some idle rain. Fortunately, we had no damage. Since we had the hail storm, our weekend cooled off, and we got some cooking done: spaghetti sauce, tomato, peas and potatoes, and chocolate muffins. I'm not a picky eater, but I just like homemade food more than paying nowadays a lot of money for something I'm not as happy with. Well, I agree with that. I'd rather eat at home most of the time. I have a funny story for you. I had a big bag of potatoes that started growing, so I threw a couple out, not knowing that the dog had somehow taken them out in the backyard. Chewed them into pieces, and either she or maybe the squirrels buried them. Fast forward, about a month or so passed, and while out trimming the yard, I saw these plants, and I said, that looks like potatoes. I dug one up after making several of the house plant and I said, I saw these plants and said, that looks just like potatoes. I dug one up, and after making several of those plants, digging up several of those plants, I had 3 baby potatoes. I waited and watched these plants. About 2 weeks ago, I pulled up 4 of the 7 plants and dug around and got maybe 20 potatoes out of them. So far, they're around, so far they aren't big, but they are good with peas. Isn't that cute? She threw potatoes out because they were bad. And the dog evidently buried them, or the squirrels did or something, chewed them up in pieces and spread them around and buried them. And she ended up with potatoes in her backyard. So see, that's how easy it is to grow potatoes. I mean, I wish I could dig a hole to plant mine in the ground out here. If I can find a spot that's big enough that doesn't have boulders that I can plant some, I would love to plant some in the ground. The year that I planted cucumbers, squash, zucchini, and all that in the ground, what I did was I basically buried between the boulders. Anywhere I could dig a hole and ruffle up the dirt enough to plant seed, I planted it. And I was giving zucchini, cucumbers, and everything away because I had so many. My son said he couldn't believe I could grow that many in that little spot right in the backyard. Well, after that, I said, well, if it works that well, it'd work better if I got a load of topsoil in. Well, I didn't know they put grass seed in topsoil. So I had a load of topsoil delivered. But to my surprise, it had Bermuda grass seed in it. So you know that's what that's done to my garden spot. You can't plant anything there in the ground anymore because the Bermuda grass will take over the garden. I mean, it literally grows like a weed. And I asked the guy about that later, and I said, well, I didn't know you put grass seed in your topsoil. He says, oh, yeah, we always do, because usually people that order topsoil, they order it for the yard and they want grass to grow. And Bermuda grass is the only grass that will grow here that doesn't die from the heat and the sun. I mean, it will die off in the hottest time of the summer, but then it comes right back. You can't get rid of it. And I said, yeah, but I wanted that topsoil for my garden. I didn't realize y'all put seed in it. And I said, that was my mistake. You know, I should have said garden soil, something I wanted to plant vegetables in that did not have grass seed. But like I said, that was my mistake. And that's what got me started into planting in totes and buckets and stuff, big pots, is so I could control the grass. But so far, growing them that way, I have not grown anything as big as I did growing in the ground. But mind you, growing in the ground here, the plants will only survive until it starts getting really hot. Once it gets hot, the plants die because you can't keep enough water on them in the ground. Oh, that's what I found anyway. Especially when it gets dry like it did this summer. Everything would die that's in the ground. And they did send some cash, which I appreciate. Love you to death, subscriber. You're the best thing. I mean, you're so generous. I can't believe how generous. All that food and then these candles and the humidifier. But I'll definitely use the humidifier. That'll come in handy. And I'm sure I will find a good use for the money. I'm always running short of money. And then another subscriber, her name is Carolyn. This just came. And it's a case of 40 cans of cat food for little Buddy. And you know, it's so funny because the cat that's on the picture of the box, he looks just like little Buddy. If y'all have cats and you ever got this kind of cat food, look at the cat on the box. That's little Buddy. Because he's got white feet. He's got white under his chin and his throat. But yeah, that's little Buddy. He's got a white belly too, I'm sure. But yeah, that's little Buddy right there. But yeah, I'll put this to good use if I can find a farmer's market close by. And like I said, they had one here in Granbury once a month, but it was over in Acton. But I never knew exactly what day that fell on. So I never got to go to the market over there. And this summer, as bad as the weather has been, as hard as it's been on gardens, I don't even know if they've had one this summer. And the closest other one that I remember anybody having was in Weatherford, which is about a half-hour drive from here. They have a flea market and produce market once a month. I think it was the first Monday in every month. And I don't know if they still have that over there because it's been many years since I went over there. So I don't even know if they still have a farmer's market. But I'll have to check into it. Other than that, I'd be left to buying tomatoes and stuff like that in the store, and I don't want to do that. That's the whole reason I started my garden, is I wanted fresh grown tomatoes out of my garden, not some that they grew in the greenhouse and that don't taste good, you know. They really have no taste, the ones in the store, to me. I mean, if you've ever eaten a fresh grown tomato, you know there's a world of difference between that fresh grown tomato and any tomato that you're going to buy in the store. Even the vine ripe ones that come with the little vine on them, they still don't even taste like the ones you buy in the store. I mean, grow yourself. I still think that when they break them off the bush, they're green, and they leave that little bit of stem on them, and then they just put them on a shelf and let them ripen. And for some reason, they still taste like greenhouse tomatoes. They do not taste like fresh grown tomatoes that you get in your yard. So, but yeah, I'll put the money to good use. I thank you so much. I am surely blessed by having all these loving YouTube subscribers that I've run into since I've started my channel. These generous, loving people that have been sending me stuff. I mean, they've sent cat food for Buddy before. I mean, lots of it. Or either they send cash so I can buy him cat food. Or like this, they just send me the whole case, which is even better because I don't have to go to the store and buy it. And Frisky's is the kind he eats. And he will eat the turkey and the chicken and all that. And the next time I buy a case, I think I'm going to get one that's mixed, that's got the seafood and salmon and all that in it too. So he doesn't have to eat just strictly turkey and chicken. But he loves it. He'll eat it. He'll eat all of that. And I'm sure he's going to love these treats that was sent. He'll really love those. And the anonymous subscriber sent the treats. And Carolyn sent the cat food. I appreciate it, Carolyn. Thank you so much. I'm just a blessed person to have these friends. YouTube family. So, I wanted to get this video together because I wanted to get it posted. I'm going to get me a cup of tea, I think. And then we can sit and talk a minute. I just made some. Like I said, I make my tea in a coffee maker. I just put my tea bags in my coffee pot and then add my water. Getting the tea bags out. And if you make tea, even by tea bags, put your tea bags in your compost. We'll go ahead and pour some in here. Find my honey. Yeah, my subscriber, when they sent the food, they must have took notes on my videos. Or remembered stuff, you know, that I cook in my videos. Because that was a lot of the stuff that they sent me. They sent me a lot of stuff that I usually just, you know, put in my videos. And that's not my lemon, that's an onion. I don't want to put onion in my... I had an onion in one of these little round containers, and I had my lemon in the other that I sliced up, and I grabbed the wrong one. And I got to put my dishes away. I cooked my greens last night, washed my bowl, my pot, washed all my stuff, and just left it there to dry, and I have not put it up yet. So yeah, I just I make my tea a little strong, and that's one reason I like to make it in the coffee maker. If y'all have ever made iced tea, it is a great way to make your tea. I mean, you can put 2 or 3 just regular individual tea bags in your coffee pot, in the bottom. You don't put it in the top, but you put it in the pot itself. And put your water in the top like you normally do, and then turn your pot on. Let me get the lid on this. But it is a great way to make your tea by the pitcherful. You can put your honey or your sweetener or whatever you want to put in there to sweeten it with, and drink the hot that you want to drink, just like I put it in here with my lemon. Let your pitcher of tea cool off, put it in the refrigerator, and then anytime you want a cup of tea, just pour you a cup of tea, put it in your microwave for 2 minutes, and you've got a hot steeping cup of tea to drink. That's what I do. And if I want cold tea, well, I'll just pour a little bit over a glass of ice and drink cold tea, but I've already got it made. I don't have to make one individual cup each time. And I thought about that from watching my grandmother make tea. She always drank tea, hot tea, and she'd use the little individual tea bags. Well, I noticed every time she'd make the tea with the little tea bag, she'd leave it in there till it was the strength she wanted. She'd take it out, put it on the side of her little plate, because she always had a little teacup with a tea plate under the cup. So she'd put her little tea bag to the side right on the plate. And my mom asked her, she said, well, why are you putting your tea bag on your plate? Why don't you just throw it away? Because she says, I don't like real strong tea. And she said, I can make 2 more cups of tea with that one tea bag. I just need to pour more hot water in my cup, put my tea bag back in there, and I can make another cup of tea or 2. And I said, well, hey, actually that's a good idea. I said, if anybody drinks hot tea and they're in the habit of using one tea bag for 1 cup of tea and then throwing the tea bag away, they're wasting their tea bag. So I decided I'm going to start making tea by the pitcherful, like I would iced tea, the strength I would like it if I was going to drink it hot. And I come out with 3 of the little individual tea bags and put to the coffee maker, the Mr. Coffee. I think it holds, let's see, 12 cups of water. And you see, I ended up with a whole pitcher full of tea. And I think this is, see what that is. I can't see it. I don't have all my lights on this morning. Let's see. I don't know. I can't read it because it's reading backwards. But you get a whole pitcher of tea. You get my drift. So you can take 3 individual tea bags now, not family bags. 3 individual tea bags and make a whole pitcher of tea. And then I'll take the 3 bags and I'll put them in my compost. Because tea leaves are like coffee grounds. They're real good for your compost. And you don't have to worry about the little paper. It'll, deteriorate and go to nothing. And the little string will too. And there's just a little staple in there, and that's so small it's not going to hurt anything. But I found that is a fantastic way to save on buying tea, because tea bags are expensive. And if you can get 3 times the amount of tea from a box of tea than you normally would, just using 1 tea bag per cup of tea, why not? I mean, you're saving yourself the price of 2 more boxes of tea. And you still get good, strong tea, as strong as you would want it. And once you cool your tea down, put it in the refrigerator, it doesn't melt the ice cubes in your glass as fast. So it still stays as strong as you need it to drink, if you want iced tea. So that's another tip. If y'all are interested, if you're on a budget and you try to save pennies every way you can, that's a good way to save on buying tea. And I've done coffee the same way, because I don't like real strong coffee. That's one reason I don't buy it from Starbucks, I guess, is because it's just way too strong for me. I could take a cup of Starbucks coffee and probably make 3 or 4 cups of coffee for me if I weakened it down with water. I mean, I just don't like real strong coffee. So, yeah, I've made coffee by the pitcher, put it in the refrigerator, and take it out and heat up a cup if I wanted hot coffee, or just take it out and drink it cold if I wanted cold coffee. I'd put my creamer or a sweetener or whatever I wanted in my coffee and just make the cold coffee. So that's 2 tips on you people that like to save money like I do. I don't know, these generous people that send these items to me, I appreciate it so much. But even with them sending me stuff like this, I still watch the way I spend money. I watch what I buy, because I've done it all my life, and I'll probably, I'll do it till I die. So, I've always got money to pay my bills. I mean, sometimes it gets tight. Sometimes I'm wondering from one month to the next if I'm going to pay that bill. And if I have to, I, cut corners on other stuff. And usually it's food, or it's putting gas in the car. I don't go on as many trips in the car to keep the gas down, so I don't have to put gas in it as often. Because when you're paying $3.50 a gallon gas, it gets expensive going anywhere. I mean, just driving from here to out in town and around, you can burn out a tank of gas real easy in a week. So I don't make any more trips with my car than I have to, just to keep down buying gas for it. You might say, well, that sounds like a real Scrooge. I said, well, I'm still in my house, I'm still alive, I'm still eating, and it's because that's the way I've lived all my life. I've counted every penny. And I'd laugh when I'd hear people say, well, you're really pinching pennies. I said, well, I go a step beyond that. I strangle my pennies. And it's going to be nothing to see me go in a store and pay for something, sometimes even if it's $10, with $10 worth of coins. I've done it before, and I'm not ashamed to do it. And I've done it even when I've got debit cards or credit cards to pay with it, or I've got cash, enough cash, bills to pay for that. But maybe I've acquired all these coins, and if it's $10 worth of coins and my bill is $10.50, well, hey, I'm going to pay with it, pay for it with my coins and get rid of them, because it'll get your purse really heavy in a heartbeat. So that's a tip. Don't be ashamed to pay for your stuff with a handful of coins. It's money too. And those cashiers always need coins in their drawer. My chest is clearing up, but I feel a little bit of that gurgly, I don't know what you call it. That roughage sound that goes on when you're talking, you know, when your chest is clearing up. And it's all because of the rain. I kept praying for the rain because I knew if it would rain, my allergies would clear up tremendously. And I wouldn't have to go in and get a shot. But I suffered all summer waiting for this rain, so. And there at the last, I was giving in, and I was almost to the point where I was going to go beg the doctor to give me a shot because I couldn't suffer. I couldn't handle it anymore. And about that time, it did rain. I mean, I was getting crazy. You get a bad case of allergies like I do, you don't think straight. You do crazy things. Because it makes you dingy, or it does me. Like one time when I was substituting at school, it was like the end of May because that's when school is out, and they had what they called the field day. All the classrooms were allowed on the field to have field day. You know, they had all kind of games set up, all kind of stuff going on. They served hot dogs, you know, something to drink. So it was a fun day for the kids. And we were all out on the field, you know, my class was out there too. And my allergies were already bothering me, but the wind was blowing slightly that day, and it had been dry and dusty. And thank God it was toward the end of the day because I started feeling kind of weird, you know. And I knew what it was. It was my allergies. And I said, it's because the wind's blowing a little bit. It's stirring up the dust. It's making me breathe all this stuff I'm allergic to. So as soon as school was out, which was maybe 45 minutes later, I went straight to the clinic out here that you don't have to have an appointment with, and they're not there anymore. If they had, I probably would have broke down and went on in and got my shot. But they're not there anymore. But I went to that clinic to get a shot. And me not even thinking straight when I got out of the car, I locked my keys in the car. As soon as I closed the door, I realized what I did. I went in the clinic, and right away I started telling them, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I left my keys are locked up in the car, and blah, 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 blah. And see, I was so dingy from the allergy reaction that I couldn't remember that I had insurance that covered locking your keys in your car. And all I had to do was call, and they would send a guy out to get my keys out. Well, I didn't remember. I was just so foggy-headed from my allergy reaction. But I went in and I got my shot, and as soon as I got the shot, by the time I walked out of the little room where they gave me the shot to that desk where you register, you know, when you first come in, I was already thinking clear as a bell. And I laughed, and I told the girl, I said, you must have thought I was crazy when I came in here talking about my keys locked in my car and I didn't know what I was going to do. I said, because I've got insurance on the car that covers rent car and anything to do with locking keys in the car or anything like that. I said, all I got to do is call them. They'll send someone out here to get my keys out. So that was another one of my little experiences with allergies. So yeah, that week before it rained, I was going crazy. I was doing all kinds of weird stuff. I mean, I'd start doing one thing and I'd get over here and all of a sudden start doing something else. Forget about what I started already. And then later I'd walk around and I happened to see what I'd started and I said, oh my God, I didn't even finish this. What am I thinking? And finally I said, you know what? I just need to go put myself in the bed and stay there for a while. So if you've got severe allergies, you know what I'm talking about. If you got real mild case of allergies, you're not going to know. But yeah, that's what happens to you. You can't breathe or you get dingy. So yeah, there's some things I'm allergic to that I cannot breathe at all. But usually it's stuff that they inject in my body or something that's stronger than what I come in contact with, just walking around. I did have a reaction one time. My eyes are tearing up from allergies now. I did have a reaction one time because I used to walk for exercise to keep the muscles, built up and strong along my spine and everywhere in my body. And I went down this one street here in the subdivision that I never went down before. And I don't think there was any homes on it. But there was like a little creek running through because they had one of those, what do they call them, pipes running under the street so the water could go under. And I noticed almost the minute I turned down the street, I smelled something kind of weird. Well, I didn't think anything of it. I kept walking. I got about halfway down that street, and it started getting difficult for me to breathe. I mean, I was going like that, because it was like I couldn't get air. And I said, well, I'm halfway down the street. I just need to hurry up and get to the end of the street. So I hurried. I walked faster, and I got to the end of the street. And by the time I got to the end of the street, I was breathing fine again. So there was something along that area where that little creek bed went through there that I was highly allergic to. And if I'd have stayed there very long, I probably wouldn't have been able to breathe at all. But I had the sense enough to get on out of there, But, yeah, that's the way my allergies work. And I've never went back down that street again. And I probably never will. And it could have been mold. It could have been mold from the water that runs through there. Because sometimes it gets so dry here, the creek bed will dry up. Or it gets real low. And that means there's moisture on the bank. And it can cause mushrooms and stuff like that. And I'm highly allergic to that. So that's one reason I still have a little bit of an allergy after it rains, probably the next day or two, because of the mold that pops up from the rain. That's when all your mushrooms and everything pop up out of the ground. And I'm somewhat allergic to them too. Not as bad a lot of the other stuff. And occasionally I will eat a mushroom. I don't buy them. And I try to stay away from them because I know I am allergic. I am allergic to peanuts too, a little bit. I'd have to consume a lot of peanuts for them to really bother me. I know there was one day I wanted peanuts so bad I couldn't stand it. I bought me a jar of peanuts, salted peanuts, and I was sitting there, I was eating them things, eating them. They were so good, and I was drinking a Pepsi or something with them. And I looked at the jar and I said, man, I've eaten a lot of these peanuts. And all of a sudden, I started feeling like something was going on with my throat. I could tell I was getting kind of weird down in my throat and my chest area, like I would with allergies. And so I immediately quit eating them. I wouldn't eat anymore. So to this day, I will eat peanuts, but I'll just eat a little handful and then, I'm done. But I do love peanuts, even though I'm allergic to them. And that's the way a lot of things are with me. If I'm in contact with it a lot, I'll get an allergic reaction. Some things I have to be in contact with it for about 3 days straight. And all of a sudden I'll have an allergic reaction. So I've just kind of went through trial and error. If I find out I'm allergic to something, I stay away from it. So... And I've survived. And I don't take regular shots. My shots consist of maybe going in once a year to get a shot for allergies. And that's like it was when I left the school ground. If my allergies were so bad that I felt like I was going to have a problem, well, then I'd go in and get it. But this summer, I've been struggling. Because everybody keeps telling me, the best thing you can do for allergies is nothing. And I knew that's what I did growing up, because in North Carolina, I had allergies to pollen and a few other things, but it didn't work as bad as it does the allergies here. I'd get maybe sick in the spring or the fall. The rest of the year I was fine. But I'd get sick in the fall or the spring, have bronchitis, and it was caused from allergies, run high fevers, and my mom would take care of me, That's sometimes when they give me what they call a hot toddy to bring my fever down. That's the only time I ever had liquor. And that was just a little bit. But I said, I guess that's why my mom did that. instead of taking me in to get me a shot to clear up the allergies, you know, unless it got extremely bad, she let me go through it so my body would build up resistance to what I was allergic to. So I decided this summer that's what I was going to do. I'm not going in to get a shot. I'm not working. I'm staying home. If I have to, I'll just go to bed. So I've been suffering all summer long. The worst summer we've had to do this, I did it this summer when we didn't have any rain and 59 days of triple-digit weather. The worst time for Texas in the area that I'm in for someone with allergies. And I suffered through it. I've not had a shot yet. I mean, I still may have to. I don't know. We did get that one rain. My allergies cleared up quite a bit. You know, I'm a little scratchy still, you know, coughing or talking. But I'm not coughing like I did. And I feel 10 times better than I did. So, and we don't have any rain in the forecast anytime soon. So I may still get bad down with allergies. I don't know. And I may eventually give in and just go get a shot. If he'll give it to me. He might figure, well, you made it all through the summer as bad as it was. Why do you want one now? And that's what I figured through the summer. I was drawn between going in, getting a shot, or just suffering through, you know. I said, if I go in and get a shot, I'm just going to undo all the suffering I did all summer trying to fight it. Because it'll put me right back to square one. If I can suffer through it, get through without a shot, maybe eventually I'm not going to need the shots anymore, even once a year. So that was my reasoning behind all that. I don't know if it's going to work. You know, at my age, it may not. I may be dead before my allergies. You know, I build up enough resistance to allergies that they don't bother me. But hey, I'm trying. What can I say? I am definitely trying. And little buddy is enjoying this warmer weather. I mean, the cooler temperature, not warmer weather. We've had cooler days. It's been in the 90s, but it's been under 100. And he's been enjoying getting out, roaming around all day long. He doesn't want to come in and lay in the floor all day like he did when, you know, before, when it was so hot that he couldn't breathe. He comes in now, he'll eat. He might lay down for a minute or two in the floor, cooling his belly, and then he's back outside. And then I don't usually see him again until mealtime. Or if I'm in the yard doing stuff in the garden, he'll show up. And you saw him when I was out in the garden doing my other video, that he was all around my feet. I was afraid I was going to step on him. So I kept fussing at him. I said, buddy, little buddy, you're all around my feet. I can't walk. Because I was afraid I was going to step on him. And I almost did step on his leg one time. I mean, he was just all around my leg, and I tried to put my feet down. And if I'd have kept going, putting my foot down, I would have stepped on his leg and hurt him. So I kind of held my foot up and shoot him away so I could put my feet down. I mean, he's liable to trip me up one time loving me too much. But he is a sweetheart. He's the sweetest cat I think I've ever come across. Him and my other little orange tabby crybaby that I used to have years ago that's no longer with us. I love that cat. And little buddy does remind me of crybaby. Only crybaby was the orange tabby like little buddy, but he didn't have white on him anywhere. He was just all solid orange tabby. I even catch myself sometimes when he's in the garden walking around with me. I'll catch myself calling him crybaby. Or CB for short is what I call my cat. And then I realize, well, I'm thinking of my cat that I had. This is little buddy. So I think little buddy sensed that I missed my cat, and that's probably why he come over here so much. And I started feeding him, and we just formed us a little bond, I guess, going on. Which I think the world of little buddy. I wouldn't hurt him or let anybody hurt him for nothing. But I know he's not my cat. I mean, he probably is my cat as much as he is anybody's. right now because he stays over here a lot. But he is a sweetheart. Well, I don't know how long I've been on here. I don't want to keep boring y'all. So, I wanted to get on here and show you all this stuff. And put the video up. Because I just feel so blessed having all these YouTubers that care. I mean, they're so generous. It's unreal. People that you don't know, never met. You met them online through your chat and your live videos. And all of a sudden they send me a message or email and ask for my address because they want to send me something. Now, the anonymous person that sent all those groceries, she didn't even tell me what she was sending. She says, "Can I please have your address? I want to send you something." So I sent it to her, not thinking of it, about it, and received all these groceries and the cat treats and the candles and the humidifier and money that she sent. Such a generous person. And she lives in South Carolina. Someone I've never personally met in real life. I've just met her through my channel. And I appreciate her. She is a generous, loving person to do this. I just feel blessed, and I hope the Lord blesses her as much as she's blessed me, and all the other YouTubers, that are so generous, and even the ones that just come in and watch my videos. I bless every one of those subscribers, and even people that watch my videos that don't subscribe to my channel. For watching my videos, I feel blessed that you just even take the time to watch my videos, and most people do like them, and they comment that they really like watching my videos. So I feel blessed. In my subscribers, I feel blessed in what they send, what they give, and even what they don't give. So with that, I am going to bid y'all a good day. I'm going to end my video so I can go ahead and get it posted. Y'all, please like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Have a great day. I'll see you on my next one. Bye.